That's actually not the worst. You can just kind of stick them right into the vise. Did you see the actual webcam in there? Okay, great. So, well, that's one more thing that we'll learn. So, what you can do is these vices, I'm not sure what the plural of that is, vices, have little metal screws there that adjust the width. You can just kind of get it comfortably in there so that it is centered, and then just tighten it up enough so that you know that it's going to stay in there. And the good news is that once this is done now, you'll never have to do this again. Did anyone need to see that again?
Which is the top of?
The top is, the Microsoft Word should be on the bottom. So you should be able to read it when it's facing you.
Can you see what yours looks like?
Sure.
So this should probably be at the bottom.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but you know. No, that doesn't matter.
Okay, what?
As long as you can, in the end, face it towards you, then you're all good. Is everyone okay with that process? It's all right. This room isn't really ideal for this because there's so many computers already here. I apologize for that. Space is at a premium these days, so. Everyone got those attached? Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is, let's take out the actual laptops. And to open them, right on the front middle here is kind of a little button, and that will release the lid. And the power buttons are on the top right, about 1 o'clock-ish. And you can just power them up. You see they're fairly fast.
Like doctor's office.
What's that?
Sounds like a doctor's office.
There might, I don't know how charged these are, so you may or may not have to charge them, but hopefully not. But just so you know, the power cords are like this. They plug in right on the back here. They just plug right in like this.
On the left side?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Let's see how our power is. These have decent batteries, but at your schools, always plug them in because you just never want to have to deal with that if you can avoid it. All right. So does everyone have their cameras, their webcams attached to the tripods? Let's just make sure that we get those up there. Okay. What you do is there's this little spring-loaded lever up at the front.
I don't know if you're getting it back in there. It feels like I'm going to break something if I push this. Is it supposed to be kind of hard to push that back in?
Oh, okay. Does that
Because that's the direction the other piece was going.
It's not wet.
now.
this
Okay.
right here,
That'll work.
if you unscrew this part, that's what gives you the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I can turn that in.
Yeah, mine snapped back in.
Everybody okay with this part?
Why does it snap back in?
Doesn't snap back in. Oh, you kind of have to manually click it back over.
Push it.
Yeah, that's one part that's not. A lot of tripods, you know, as soon as you kind of click it in, it just automatically clicks it back. These you have to kind of crank them both ways.
Now this turn, that's okay.
That, yes, actually to adjust that, that would be on the actual device itself. And so, you know, let's just take yours back off for a second.
Okay.
Stabilize that a little bit more.
How would you do that?
Okay, on the bottom of these, if you just kind of see if you put your finger right on the bottom here and just kind of stop that from moving, and then just kind of twist it until it becomes tight. You want that?
Yeah, yeah.
And this will become much easier each time you do it, so you know. All right. So does everyone have their laptops on? All right. Is it asking you for credentials like a login? Or did it just boot right up?
Just more.
Okay.
Positioning your life again.
Yeah, that's what I have to.
Yeah, it's
Don't worry.
virus. Yeah, it's canceled.
Don't worry about that.
I think Wayne's got the latest.
Yeah.
Go, can I close any other windows after the
Are you getting a message saying additional information is required to connect to UI?
Yeah.
Okay. You will not have to deal with this at your schools, but for right now we will. So what you need to do is click on that information bubble, and where it says username, put in your Hawk ID. And for your password, put in your Hawk ID password, and don't put anything where the domain is. Yes.
Mine is not pulling up the face for me to enter ID.
Yeah, mine's on you.
It's
It's
saying
not.
positioning your
That,
life
you want
again.
to go on wireless?
Yeah.
Wireless. Which icon is it? It's those one with the computer, the big red X on it, right at the very, very bottom.
Yeah.
That means you're not connected to the wireless.
Yes.
Connect to
So
the
I can put that.
wireless. Yep. Yeah, connect to the network. Mm-hmm. Nice. Now, James, is there a wireless button?
If you right-click on that red X, you go to connect to a wireless network,
Oh, okay.
and it's saying here.
Wireless.
I'll leave the domain blank.
Saying you're saying you can't find the network. Yeah?
Yeah, same here. Netflix network.
That's kind of strange.
Wireless.
See, that's the thing about, I'm wondering if the wireless is turned off. And isn't there
Well, I'm getting it.
I'm getting it.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, so I think it's the,
Yeah,
it's a
wireless.
lot.
Oh, great point, John. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, yes. This is very weird. This is sort of a new feature. On the right. Thank you for pointing that out.
There's a little switch.
There's a little switch.
There you
And
go.
yeah, once you turn that on, what you're doing right now, just there's never any reason to turn that off again.
Did you have wireless?
Which network do you want us
Oh, you had
connected to?
wireless?
WPA2?
WPA2. And what you're going to do, and again, you're connecting to the university's wireless right now. You're not going to, you might have to do something similar at your schools, but I'm going to talk about that briefly because I've talked to, do any of you know at Clear Creek, do any of you know Joe, who does tech support? Kind of, runs like the, all right, well anyway, when you're at Clear Creek and Manna, there are what are called data ports. And you see these Ethernet cords? These are about 25 feet long, which would give you a pretty good amount of mobility. For those of you in Clear Creek, you have these ports available where you can basically plug into the wall. That's what you're going to do instead of using wireless. It's much more stable and faster. And the issue for those of you in Kelowna is that you're going to use wireless in Kelowna because I don't think that the school has the same amount of plugins on the wall available. So these Ethernet cords, for those of you who will be using them, they plug in on the back left as you're looking at the back. And so it's kind of like, you know, like a old-time phone plug-in adapter. So you plug in one end, it doesn't matter which. And then at your school in Clear Creek, Joe is aware that this project is starting, and he'll probably come help you out. But basically, along the wall, and somewhere in this room they'll have it, although I'm not going to plug into it. But basically, have any of you noticed in Lindquist or in other classrooms that sometimes they have these little plugins on the wall with like a little red strip or something like that? It'll be something like that at Clear Creek, and basically you're just going to plug it right in, and then you're connected to the internet. So you shouldn't have to deal with wireless in Clear Creek, but in Kelowna you will. So it's one more plug for those of you in Clear Creek to deal with, but on the bright side, it is a much better type of connection. And again, these cords are kind of long, but yes.
Speaking of connections, it's saying it still can't connect to that.
Still can't connect. So you put in. Let's see. Did you put in your?
Never asked me for it.
Is anybody here connected to the wireless?
I am.
Can you just double click on Firefox, make sure you can go out on the web and browse? And
Why? I wonder why. Yeah, that's good news. The connection.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Let's. I'll just let you use my laptop for now because I don't need it. And yeah, like you said, the good news is you won't have to worry about it. So,
Yay! Who's having problems? Got it.
just one.
Oh, we're up front here?
Yeah, and it's just saying that the connection was timed out or a user canceled.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'll let you use mine. And we're all good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. All right. So what you'll need to do is all that you need, assuming the internet is working for this, is an internet connection. But before we go any further, let's just take your. These webcams are USB operated. So the USB ports, I believe they're on both sides of the computer. It doesn't matter which one you plug into. But you should, once you plug it in, you should hear that little, blow up noise, and that will acknowledge that you're plugged in. Did everyone get that noise? No?
Sound from that?
Sound could be turned down. Dog, you know how to check your volume? Yep, that works. And there's also in the lower right. There's a couple ways. On the laptops, you'll see towards the top. There are volume buttons above F10 and F11. There are manual volume buttons. That's one way to do volume. But if you really just kind of want to see what's happening directly, that little cone, speaker cone. I always like to use that, and it should look the same on your laptops.
Yeah, somebody's is working.
Okay, good.
All right, well, it looks like the cameras are plugged in.
All right, excellent. So, once the cameras are plugged in, then that is kind of half the battle. So, the next thing we need to do is we need to log into Adobe Connect. And to do that, you need to open a web browser. I prefer Mozilla Firefox, personally. If you're more comfortable with Internet Explorer, that's fine too, because it ultimately doesn't matter. It'll take you to the same place. But I find Firefox to be a bit more of a stable browser in general, but there are those that would argue with me. So, what I'm going to do is give you a very long website. And you can kind of see it up here. And again, the website that I'm going to email you will have direct links here so that you don't have to worry about typing this in all the time. But because I haven't emailed you yet, obviously we can't do that. So up at the top, it's that http:// there's no wwws, but it is media3.continuetolearn.uiowa.edu/ed07E17403. Can you all read that yourselves? You want me to kind of keep going over it? It's not.
My old eyes can barely read it, but it's there. Media.
Media 3. Now, this is Clear Creek's virtual classroom. Those of you who are in Kelowna, it'll be a 2 at the end instead of a 3. That's the only difference. Everything else will look the same. But just for this training purpose, everybody please go to the one that's up there now.
00.
It is 17403, the last digits.
For Kelowna, it would be 2.
Yes,
At the end.
but again, you won't ever have to worry about that because you'll end up clicking the link that says here,
Okay.
and then it'll take you to the right place. So is everyone seeing that login screen of Connect? Okay, good.
Yay.
What you want to do always is enter as a guest, and that should be the default. You see the little radio buttons. If it's highlighted in blue next to guest, you're in business. And if you just type your name.
Yep. And then you're knocking on Scooter's door.
Yes, I'll be waiting for you, depending.
All right, who is that?
Me.
Yay, Alicia.
Yeah.
Let her in.
Yep. Now, this is what happens on my end. You'll never see this.
Very good.
If you do, you're good hackers.
See, this way it lets our faculty screen who's coming in to keep
Yeah.
silliness out of it.
Obviously, these are
Yes.
this program is typically used for courses that people pay for, so you don't want just any average Joe off the street sitting in on your class. So this is sort of the gateway. And you'll see now that all of you are attendees, okay? But obviously, when you are doing your student teaching, it'll just be you and me on your system, all right? So the first thing that we have to do is, you won't be seeing all the menu options that I have because I'm the host. You should see a tab that says Meeting at the top left, right up here. You all have that? Okay. It should say Room Performance and Appearance. Do you have that?
Manage my settings.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go to Manage My Settings, and then go to My Connection Speed, and click it over to DSL Cable. And again, you shouldn't have to do this again, but it's good to know how. All right, so you want to be on DSL Cable. The next thing you want to do is go down here where it says Audio Setup Wizard. Okay, and here we are at step 0 of 5, which is kind of funny. Should be step 1, I think, but you don't need to worry about that. You just go to Next. And here you'll see a button that says Test. This is going to test the speaker output on your machine, so you want to just make sure that you hear a very silly song now. Okay, and once you don't need to listen to the whole thing. Once you hear that, you're good. So just click Stop, unless you like the song, which is fine.
Is that you, Scooter?
What's that?
Was that you playing?
Yes, that's me on one of my finer moments of musical exploration there. I wish, actually. That'd be nice to get a contract with Adobe, I'm sure. Okay, the next thing is we need to select the microphone. All right, so if you don't see anything in there, what we're using, when you put the drop-down box, you should see something that says Microsoft Livecam, or, something. Let me see what you got there.
Which one is it? It's the first one that comes up. It's just a microphone, and in parentheses it's just webcam. You're not seeing it on my machine because I don't have plugged into the desktop. Oh, okay. Why? But on your laptop, I'll have that. Okay. Now, the next thing that you will do is, after you select that, you're going to click Next. Actually, let's go back so I can get a microphone. Here you test your own microphone. So this record button, if you just click that and just say something, like testing, something like that, checking. You click this little Adobe and just click allow. It's just kind of It's only noise but loud. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2, you can do this, and I'm talking, the wind meter is coming out, it's good time. Check, and just give a bit, then put the stop on the light. And then put the stop on your gun, and play to make sure that it got. The microphone's on. Yes. So, that's the to basically what you're sort of also in the which works with your audio. So, as you're not going to proceed for this time, just step back, or so once you're requesting it, don't about test out of the feature. You could by do that. And you have a block that says, you can just click, and what you're gonna stick finish is our audio result. So now we need to go back to settings and click select and deduct default to your